everyone, and welcome to Thankful Thursday. I'm Ashley Lynn Caputo, and so for today, I said we'd be talking about yoga for boosting the immune system. So that being said, this is about preventative, so it's not for, yogi. If you're feeling already sick, this is not the practice for you. It's going to be a little bit more active with some relaxation interspersed. Obviously, anytime that we're getting into, there's a big storm here. Anytime we're getting into fight or flight, we need to relax. So our fight or flight is going to rev us up, and that's going to release cortisol, and then we are in a compromised state for catching illness. So relaxation poses or restorative is very, very good for reducing stress and keeping the immunity boosted. We also want to do some heated practices to kind of get the chest flowing, get the lymph flowing, circulation flowing, get the blood cells moving around, that kind of deal. So the number one immunity oil I love by doTERRA is called On Guard. I actually take a few drops of this internally almost every day. It's a lifesaver game changer. I like to anchor, for the meditation we're going to do, I like to anchor into Intune though. It's a focus blend. Sometimes I'll mix Intune. I don't have it with me, but sometimes I'll put some Intune and then I'll put some lavender on. I actually do that. For that calm focus, I actually put both Intune and lavender inside my face mask every day. It's a game changer for that too, let me tell you. It keeps me calm and alert. So that being said, let's find our comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you, and we'll begin with a little grounding meditation here. And so to begin, we're going to bring our index fingers to touch here, and they're going to be kind of in front of the solar plexus area. All right, and you can keep them here. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you soften your gaze. And we're going to begin by doing that nice yogic three-part breath. If you're a yogi, it's Dirga breathing. If not, it's just diaphragmatic breathing. We're going to inhale, fill the belly of the ribs all the way up to the collarbones. And then on the exhale, reverse the direction, draw the navel muscles slightly up, slightly in. Once again, we're compressing that vagus nerve, moving into rest and digest. So continuing that nice deep abdominal breathing. Knowing that this hand position in yoga is known as Tarjani Mudra. It's the gesture of the index finger. And it's going to help to open and balance the fourth chakra, or the heart Anahata chakra. It's our center of unconditional love. It's going to allow the breath to flow throughout the chest, and it's going to stimulate that thymus glands, which is great for immunity. It's going to aid in softening the muscles of the chest and increasing our lung capacity, while assisting us in instilling enthusiasm and integrating our emotions. And if you like, you can repeat the following mantra silently to yourself. In touch with spaciousness that exists in my heart, I open up to love and compassion. In touch with spaciousness that exists in my heart, I open up to love and compassion. Mary Oliver said, and I thought, she will never live another life but this one. And I thought, if she lives her life with all her strength, is she not wonderful and wise? And I continued this up the miraculous pyramid of everything until I came to myself. And isn't it interesting, I wonder if you already know, that staying in the present moment is one of the highest acts of self-love there is. You might not have noticed that the entire world is indeed a reflection of you. When you get caught up in judging your own past actions or feeling anxious about upcoming events, then judgment and fear show up in your outside world too. You know you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are. And you really do have everything you need right here and right now. The universe is always there to support you. What would it be like to pause when you find the mind wandering, to pause and find something that brings you joy? Anything at all. I'm just pausing and finding that thing right now. And then take another deep breath in. Exhale, and just allow yourself to really experience this joy, this state of self-love. Anchoring into that with the breath. Nice, nice, nice. And slowly coming back to the room, you can shake out the arms a little bit. So these meditations that I write are part of an upcoming meditation book that I'll be coming out with soon. All right, so for our practice today, we're going to want to have possibly a couple blocks. If you want to modify, you might have a chair, a pillow or bolster, and maybe a blanket, and a tissue for what we're about to do, which is some of the pranayama or breath work. So before we get started with that, let's just do a few circles, kind of loosening the body up a little bit. Nothing really formal, just kind of moving, circling around. It can be little, it can be big. And then when you're ready, reverse that direction. And then finding your spine nice and erect. I'm gonna do some seated cat-cows, so exhale, round. Inhale and arch. We'll do 3 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Last one. Nice. And then inhale the arms up to a V. Exhale, left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Again, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, one more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale your arms up to that V. We'll switch sides on the exhale. And then inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale and exhale, twist. And then we'll come back to the center. You can move the body around a little bit. And let's move into our pranayama here. So the first one we're going to do is the Brahmari or bee breath. So there's no contraindications for Brahmari. That being said, I mean, if you had a recent surgery or sinus infection, you might not want to put pressure there. Other than that, it's safe for pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. Basically, there's 2 different ways. So the yogic way for the hand position would be to take your index fingers on your eyebrow, your middle fingers on the eye, your ring fingers outside of your nostrils, and your pinky fingers to the corners of your mouth. Then, not yet, but if you're doing it this way, when we're ready to start the breath, you would plug your thumbs into the cartilage of your ear, sealing you off so that you're internalizing, you're not hearing any sound from the outside. So you're kind of taking yourself in by blocking out your senses. So if that's too much for you, you're welcome to do what we call the helmet hands, and that's just placing the hands on the head and blocking off the ear cartilage this way. Now, that's the head positioning. So the breath is actually going to be putting your tongue up to the top of your upper teeth. You're going to inhale, and on the exhale, with your tongue up there and your mouth closed, you're going to make the sound of a bee. So it's a humming. It can be kind of a Z, or everybody's bees sound different. It can be high pitched, low pitched. It doesn't really matter what your bees sound like, and of course your ears are going to be blocked, so you wouldn't be noticing anybody else's. So it's an inhale, close off the ears, and then the exhale is the Z, the bee breath out. And then it'll be 3 of those, so another inhale and the bee breath. So we'll do that 3 times, and then we'll come back to the room. So either taking your Shanmukhi mudra or your helmet mudra for that Brahmari bee breath. So it's an inhale. Seal off the cartilage of the ears, and then on your exhale, bee breath. So after your 3rd one, releasing down, pausing perhaps with the eyes closed. Just notice what you notice, sensing into any shifts, seeing how you do indeed feel here. And then coming back. So that takes me deep within. So the next pranayama or breath that we'll do is Kapalabhati. So at least here in Florida, it's about 6:40 p.m. So this is a heating breath. It can be very stimulating. We don't want to do a very fast-paced one at this hour. Generally, Kapalabhati is done earlier in the day. You definitely want to have an empty stomach. There are a couple contraindications. So if you're pregnant, menstruating, if you have uncontrolled hypertension, any heart irregularities, heart conditions, seizures, epilepsy. So if you're not used to, exerting yourself in the breath, maybe you just take some deep diaphragmatic breath here. If you're going to do the Kapalabhati with us, it's going to be a passive inhale and a forceful exhale, and right here the solar plexus kind of snaps. So you can have your hands on your knees, and it looks like, so faster, and I'm only going to do a couple, but we're not going to do, we're going to do nice and slow like this. So we'll do about 20. Keeping the shoulders still. Pausing, noticing anything you notice. Also that constriction there, that popping kind of the solar plexus is what is kind of stimulating. It's also helping to clear out. It's a great immune booster. It's getting things flowing. It's going to increase the circulation. So it is used a lot indeed with diabetes, asthma, allergies, people with chronic sinus, bronchial things. It's good for the intestinal tract, it's good for reducing stress, it's good for focus, a lot of things. We'll do, and that is kind of one of the top, I would say, pranayams for immunity, provided there are no contraindications. Of course, if it's earlier in the day, you could be doing it a little faster, but you can build up to that. So the next one is called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. Again, this one, there's not really any contraindications for. We're going to be blocking one nostril and the other. So if you have anything going on with your nose, again, you might not do that. You might just think about the alternate nostril instead of actually blocking them. So this is going to balance both hemispheres of the brain. This one is great for immunity because it's reducing stress and opening your focus up. So if you're doing it the yoga way, we make the peace sign, and then we lower those fingers and lift the other three. And you would use your right thumb and your right pinky finger or ring finger to block the nostrils. If that's too complex, some people take those peace fingers on their forehead and just block right and left nostrils here. The touching of the forehead can take you deep within as well. And if that's complicated, I teach some people who are not yogis to just do the kind of hang loose and block pinky and thumb. So whatever way you're doing it, we're going to begin. So you're going to begin by blocking off, however you are, that right nostril, and you're going to inhale. You want to keep the inhales, exhales about the same to begin. So maybe you think of counting 4 on the inhale. And then you block off that left nostril, and you exhale out the right nostril. You inhale up the right nostril, block it off, exhale left. Then inhaling left, block left, exhale right. Again, inhale right, block the right, exhale left. And starting the third one, inhaling left, one on each side is around. Block left, exhale right. And then inhaling right. Block the right, exhale left, inhale left, block the left, exhale right, again inhale right, block the right, exhale left, inhale left, block the left, exhale right, inhale right, block the right, exhale left, inhale left, block the left, exhale right, block, exhale left, inhale left, block the left, exhale right, inhale right, block the right, exhale left. Now inhale left, block the left, exhale right, Inhale right, block the right. Exhale left. Last round. Inhale left, block the left. Exhale right. And then inhale right, block the right. Exhale left. Release your hand, maybe shake it out. And pause and just notice what you notice. So we did 10 rounds. And then gently coming back to the room. Oh, that takes me deep within. So some other things we can do to increase our immunity is we want to do some thymus tapping. So if I'm talking, my voice is vibrating while I'm doing this. You're not hurting yourself, but you're kind of tapping. This is great for any kind of chest congestion too. Okay. And then I want to do some lymph massaging. So under the arms, if you kind of dig your fingers into a point that doesn't really hurt but is not comfortable, and then just kind of massage around in there, that's releasing those toxins out of the lymph. You want to get into both sides. And then we'll move into some of the practice. So we'll come forward onto all fours. It's nice to just do a couple cat-cows in our table pose. So exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale. About 3 more. Last one. Nice. So bringing your feet together behind you, you can part your knees wide and come into a child's pose here. And we're going to walk our hands all the way over to the left. So you're getting that right side of the rib stretch. We'll take 3 to 5 breaths here. And then walk over with the hands to the right. Same thing, breathing here. And this time left rib stretching out. And then bring the hands back to the center. Fire up the fingertips, fire them up. So you're really stretching out those shoulders. You can rock the forehead back and forth. You can massage that inner eye and the sinuses around there. And we're going to come back up to our table pose. We're going to keep our feet in behind us, so feet together. We're going to tuck our toes under. We're sitting up on our knees here. You're going to take the tilt out of the pelvis by tucking it under so that your core is activated, your belly's in. We're going to interlace our hands up and lean over to the right side. You can look down, you can look up. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. And we'll come back up and we'll go opposite. The same thing, head in a comfortable position, either looking down or up. More of that side rib cage kind of stretch, opening up the lungs, the ribs. And come back up. You can circle your arms around. We'll bring it back into our table pose. So from our table pose, we're going to lower our forearms all the way down. So you can have your hands interlaced this week if you like for our dolphin pose. You're going to tuck your toes. Up into your dolphin. Your heels don't have to touch the ground. You want to make sure you're not sinking forward though. You're lifting up out of the shoulders. Your belly's in and you're breathing. And so our gentle inversions like this, like downward facing dog, they're going to loosen up the chest and get rid of any kind of impurities in the sinuses. About 3 more. And go sit back, shift side to side for a moment. So then we're gonna come back up to our table. We're gonna come into that downward facing dog. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are hip distance apart. You're gonna tuck your toes and press your hips up and back. Butt is the highest peak of that triangle. You can pause and walk out your dog a little bit here. The head is loose and limp. You can shake it no, nod it yes. Just breathing here. My mat's a little slippery. Let's come back to this part of the mat. Just breathing, engaging the shoulders. And begin to gaze forward. You're going to tippy-toe your feet in between your hands. You're going to soften your knees and ragdoll. I like to bring my hands to each elbow and kind of get that side body stretch, but you can certainly have your hands on the floor and do a little bit gentler of a ragdoll if that feels better to you. So breathing in your ragdoll. Slowly going to round all the way up and shake it out a little bit here. So this is where I'm going to have some options to modify. So you can do hand to big toe and with a little twist. So if it's comfortable for you, you're welcome to do it that way. You can also hold your knee. If you want to do it a lot more restorative, you can, and this chair is a little high to do this, but you can certainly do it like this or with the leg extended. So choosing whichever way works best for you. We're going to get that side body twist and the balance. So we'll hold for 3 breaths. And slowly come back to the center. If you had your big toe, you're going to let go of that. And we're going to come into our warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. So you can use the chair or some blocks to balance or to help you balance if you like. If you don't need them, you don't need them. So you can have your hands in prayer. They can be out in front of you or back or on blocks or the chair. We're going to pause for 3 breaths here. You want to make sure your hips are square. That back foot is flexed. And then slowly, we're going to come up to a tree pose, just to pass through a tree. And I'm going to turn sideways. So coming from tree, we're going to lower that foot. So you can tap it down to touch the ground if you want, or you can just swing it on behind and tuck it into your eagle. So the right leg is on top. We're going to bring the left arm on top. I'm going to sit back like a chair. We're going to align all our joints. The gaze is soft in between the hands, elbows, belly button, ankles all aligned. 3 breaths here. So this compression of all of our pressure points is also going to move the circulation, move the lymph. And then gently release out of that. And so we'll do the opposite side. I'm going to move the chair so I don't have to face away from you guys. And I'm going to put my blocks out here. So this is the side I'll definitely need to use the props because this is my surgical hip. It's 2 months post-total hip replacement though. So we're getting stronger every day. So the first one we did is the hand to big toe. So this one is actually easier on this side for me. So I can get into that. But you can be holding the knee or you can be propping it on the chair. Put my foot on my notes here. So you want to lift up and you want to get that twist. Our twists are good for immunity. And some breathing here. So now if you are holding the left big toe with the right hand, you're going to release it and bring the knee in. And then come into your warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. You can be using a chair, nothing at all, or blocks if you like. squaring off the hips. It helps to flex that back foot so you know that your leg is activated. And we'll breathe here. And then bringing that leg up into your tree. Again, I have to turn sideways for you guys. And then we're going to bring that left leg across. You can tap it down to the floor, or you can keep it tucked behind you. Either way, right arm is going to come on top because left knee is on top. Again, that alignment of all the joints. Soft focus at the hands. If you have a shoulder issue, you're welcome to just bring the hands to the shoulders. And breathing in your eagle. And then lifting up, out, releasing it out. Pause to shake it out and make sure that we have enough space here. And so then step the feet wide. Soften your knees just a little bit. We're going to interlace our fingers behind us as we fold forward. So my weight's more in my balls of my feet, my toes, and my heels. This is our yoga mudra. So make sure you're not hyperextending the knees. It's a wide-legged fold. Breathe in here. Of course, if the shoulders have any issues, you're welcome to do something else with the arms. Maybe you just let them come down, or you bring them behind your calves, wherever you are. You're meant to be. Breathing. And then gently release those arms down. So we'll place the right hand either on the mat or on a block and lift that left arm up, breathing. You can leave it up for a few breaths or bind it around behind, reaching towards that right inner thigh. And if you did bind it, release it. Switching sides, inhale the right arm up. You can keep it here or bind it, reaching for the left inner thigh. And then if you did bind it, release it. Lower down and then bend the knees to slowly round up. So here we'll step our legs in. We're going to bring our hands behind us. So minding your back, of course, just to counterpose it and to open up again the thymus. We can do a standing back bend, or almost like a camel, only standing Ustrasana. So your hands would be on your sacrum on each side. Your core is strong. And just a little back bend here, breathing. And then come up, release it out. We're going to step back out to our downward facing dog now. So you can lower down, bring the hands out, step the feet back here, pausing here. And then bring yourself forward to plank. So you're pressing into the legs, the whole body's engaged. We're going to pause and plank and breathe. Of course, if plank is difficult, you can always have your knees lowered. So from plank, we're going to move into side plank, Vasisthasana. So you can do any variation you like. If you don't have the balance or the strength, you can always separate your legs a little bit here. 3 more breaths. So an option from here is to move into Wild Thing by stepping that right foot back, lowering down, and then lifting the hips. And 3 breaths if you're doing it. We're going to lower that right foot, bring the right knee in, and then step it back out. You're in your regular plank. And we'll move on to the other side in a moment. So 2 more breaths here. Right hand to the center of the mat, lifting up. You can do a tree or lift the leg up. You can separate the legs for balance. 3 breaths. If you'd like to move into Wild Thing, bring the left foot back, lower down, Inhale it up for 3. And then back to your plank. So if chaturanga is in your practice, you can lower all the way down. If not, lower knees, chin, chest. And pause for a moment. Pressing the feet into the mat. We'll come up into a gentle little cobra. And then we'll lower down. We're going to bring our forearms out. So our toenails are pressing in. There's no pain in the lower back. The legs are active. We're in a Sphinx pose. Just breathing here. Like opening up those lungs. And then press back up to a table. If you want to do a cat-cow in between, we're going to sit in a staff position, so with our legs out in front of us. So remember the lymph nodes are in those armpits, one of the main places anyway, they're all a lot of places. So a nice balance we can do with the arms is that elephant trunk pose. So if you're flexible enough, so because of the hip surgery, my left leg is going to be more flexible. I'll show the full pose on this and then a modification on the opposite. So you want to sit upright and then bring the left shoulder underneath that left arm. So you can point the feet on this one. You can press into your hands and lift up and breathe. So shake it out in between. So we're doing the right side second because this is my tighter side. So because I can't get that hip and shoulder all the way tucked yet, I can come part way, or I can just hug it in and breathe here. So I'm getting that. And so releasing out of that one. So we'll come back to a pose almost like this, but to just break it up a little bit, we'll move into a reverse plank. So if that's not in your practice, flex your feet and arch your back to counter pose. Otherwise, point your feet and reverse the plank for 3. And then slowly lowering it down. So coming back, we'll start with the right leg on this side. So we want to come almost to where we are, only it's going to be a different version of the twist. So Marichiasana 1. So if the right leg is in front, usually we're used to crossing it over. Instead, we're going to bring that right arm around and try to interlace and breathe here. One more. Gently release out of that. Bring the left leg off to the side. The right knee will come down. We're going to go into a revolved, it's called head to knee, Parivrtta Janushirasana. So you want to be careful in alignment here. We're going to be leaning to the side. So if this is as far as you go, feel free to stay there. If you have a lot of flexibility, you might reach towards that toe. You want to open up your rib cage though. So wherever you are, taking 3 breaths. Make sure you come out nice and slow, gentle. You don't want to jar the ribs. Pause, make any little movements. And then we'll switch. We'll do that Marichiasana on the left side, so stretching the right leg out. The left knee is bent, so the left arm comes in front. We reach around and we twist open, breathing. We'll take the right leg off to the right, and we're going to lower a left knee. So same movement. This side is my tight side, so I might use a prop here just for my own comfort to sink into it. But breathing. Very slowly coming out of that. So we'll be bringing our feet feet out in front of us. I'm going to turn sideways for the camera. So we want to move into, if it's okay with your body, obviously honoring anything going on in your neck, shoulders, etc., into a plow pose. So to do that, I'm going to slowly come down using my core. And I'm going to lift my legs, and I'm going to bring my feet and tuck them behind. So again, I'm engaging my throat, activating my throat, I should say, my Vishuddha chakra, as well as my thymus. I'm stretching out and breathing here. And slowly coming down. Beautiful. So you could also do bridge there if that wasn't comfortable for you. Okay. So let's rock our way up into counter pose. We'll come into that forward fold of Paschimottanasana. So stretching it all out. Three more breaths. Next, exhale, deepen. And gently come out. All right. So we'll move into a more restorative back bend here. So I'm going to use a bolster. You could certainly be using a different kind of pillow. And we'll place probably just a blanket on the back of it. So we're going to be coming down. So my knees are together here, and my feet are touching the ground. My butt is up against the bolster, and I'm going to slowly recline backwards. So if you needed more height, you could put a block here too. You can have your palms up to adjust a little bit. So we'll take about 10 breaths here. After your 10th breath, make sure you come out evenly. You don't want to torque the back from that nice stretch that you got. We're going to move the bolster off to the side here. And so another couple of restorative poses are good here. So if you have a wall close by, you can do legs up the wall, that Viparita Karini. It's great for fatigue, for cramping. It drains the blood out of the feet for swelling. So I don't really have a wall close by, so something very similar is a restorative shoulder stand. So I can take a block right here and just lift my feet up this way. And again, you can stay here for a pretty long time. We'll just do about 10 breaths today. Once I come out, I'm going to bring my feet down, press them into the ground firmly, gently lift my butt up, and slowly lower down. And from here, we can hug those knees into the chest. Maybe give yourself a little spinal rock here. And for today, let's bring the feet down. Let's actually cross the left leg over the right, scoot the hips to the left, and then lower the knees to the right. You can flatten that left shoulder out, adjust your neck comfortably, gazing back. Make sure your left shoulder is down. Doesn't matter if the knees touch or not. If you need to deepen, you can always press. If this bothers you in any way, though, don't do any pressing. You can always uncross the knees. We'll take 3 breaths here. Slowly come back to the center. Scoot the hips back to the center. Pause, uncross. If you want to windshield wipe for a moment, feel free. And then we'll take that right knee and stack it over top. We'll scoot our hips to the right. I'm going to bring the knees towards the left. I'm going to make my head comfortable, keeping my right shoulder down. And if I want to deepen it, I'll press down. I'm breathing here. Slowly coming back, centralize those hips, uncross, maybe a little windshield wipe. If you want to hug one more time, feel free to hug or rock. When you're ready, on an inhale, lengthen the arms and legs out like a big good morning stretch. And then moving into your Shavasana, if you'd like to cover up with anything, feel free to do so now. You can also use an eye pillow if you like, covering up the eyes, really going deep within. Getting yourself comfortable. So there's nothing left for you to do. Nowhere to go. Just be, allowing the breath to deepen. Whole body resting on the ground. Back of the head, shoulders, muscles of the neck, melting down. A cushion for each and every vertebra. Hips, buttocks sinking into the ground. Back of the legs, heels of the feet, heavy and grounded. Whole back of the body, heavy and sinking, like a stone in sand. Top of the body light and buoyant, as if floating on a cloud. A global sensation of both the heaviness and the lightness of the body. Heavy and light. Heavy and light, simultaneously heavy and light. And sensation to the mouth. Upper lip, lower lip, the space between the lips, the inside of the upper teeth, lower teeth, tongue, jaw, relaxed, the inside of the cheekbones, hollow tubules radiating from the inside of the cheeks to the outer peaks and valleys of the ears. Bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril. The difference of temperature between the inhale and the exhale. Both nostrils hollow and empty. The eyes, orbs of sensation, shimmering energy. Upper lids, lower lids. The space between the lashes. Brow, forehead relaxed. Eyes sinking deep within the head to that universe that knows no space nor time. And tracing an invisible line back from the brow through the scalp to the nape, the back of the neck. Shoulders, upper arms, heavy and sinking. Elbows, wrist, light and buoyant. The hollowness of the palms of the hands and all of the tiny bones that make up the fingers. Right rib cage, left rib cage, lungs open, the hollow notch at the base of the throat, and breath flowing in from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes, releasing out anything you no longer need. And then breathing in from the soles of the feet, all the way up to the top of the head. Bringing in that strength from the universe. Whole body resting on the ground. Very slowly allowing the breath to return to normal, perhaps wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe you move your head side to side or open and close the mouth. Inviting circular motions into wrist, ankles. While you're lying there, if it's right for you, on an inhale, you can lengthen those arms and legs out once more. On an exhale, hug the knees into the chest and do that spinal rocking once more. And then rolling over into that right side fetal position, cushioning the head on the arm, just resting here for a moment. Honoring your body, honoring the intention of boosting immunity. Very slowly, as it becomes right to you, from that fetal position, you'll press into your right elbow and the left palm of your hand. Upper body strength helps you lift as you circle the hands, coming back up to a seated position. If you like, you can bring your hands into Anjali Paramudra. You can bring the thumbs up to the forehead for honest thought, to the lips for honest speech, and then back to the heart for honest intention. And Namaste. The light in my heart shines in the light in yours. And Om Shanti, 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 peace. And slowly coming out. So thank you all for joining Thankful Thursday. Of course, if you have any topics you would like to learn more about, I'd be happy to do one of those for another Thankful Thursday. In the interim, if you miss a Thankful Thursday, we post them usually within 24 hours on YouTube. It's Ashley Lynn Caputo. We do appreciate you following us on YouTube. It helps us to get the word out about this free process here. The website is unwindthemind.biz, so if you're interested in learning more about hypnosis, NLP, Reiki, sound therapy, yoga therapy, just regular yoga, breath work, etc., the information's there. There are some trances, some yoga classes available in the store, as well as the essential oils. Anything else, I think you can contact me. It was really great to be here with you all, and I hope you find something to be thankful for today.